Hey guys, back here with another quick video. This time I'm just going to talk about the slow motion or high speed capture capability of the Panasonic FZ200 that I had mentioned earlier in my videos. It's a great little camera. It does allow you to do slow motion, or it captures at a higher speed, which translates into slow motion in camera, which is nice. So obviously to get to that is you have to be in the video mode. So if you're in other modes, you got to turn the control dial on the top to the movie icon that I had before, and it gives you different options: program AE, aperture priority, shutter priority, full manual, which is nice, allows you to control both shutter and aperture during or prior to the recording of the video, which is nice. And then go to the HS or high speed video mode, and then you're presented with two options. You have 240 FPS at VGA in MP4 format, or 120 FPS HD MP4. So the 120 will record at 1280 by 720, which is pretty impressive. It's not full HD, but it is, high definition. And then when you move to the 240 frames per second, you're getting VGA output, or recording, which is 640 by 480, which isn't bad at all. It's going to be more like the square format. A lot of cameras, I don't think, go up to 640 by 480. I think it's like 420 by 480 or something at 240 FPS. So the FZ200 is one of the very few cameras that actually allows you to capture a decent sized capture at the high speed 240, and I'm going to show you what it does. 120 is pretty cool. It does, 1280 by 720, and of course standard video mode will record at full 1080, but this is not bad. I'm just going to demonstrate what that does. Of course, you're not going to have audio when you're recording in the high-speed modes, either 120 or 240, and I think it only records an MP4 here as well. Not bad. To get this feature set, you'd probably have to spend a lot more money, in the thousands of dollars, in like the pro level cameras. But for a camera that's hovers around $300, guys, this is pretty impressive. And I'm going to roll some footage here. You can see the... First, I'm going to show you the standard definition, which is shot... I'm sorry. I'm going to show you at standard speed, shot at 1080. You'll see the bird feeders here. See the birds flying around. And yeah, it's pretty fast. These birds are pretty quick. And I think that's captured at 29.9 frames per second. So basically 30 frames per second. The standard video capture rate. 30 frames per second at full HD, full 1080. You can see them flying. And then, let me see, I'll roll in some footage of it shot at the actual 120 FPS. Now here you'll notice the video box is a little smaller because that's not full HD. It is HD, which is considered 1280 by 720. That's not bad. And this is being captured at 120 frames per second. Now, it's not going to be as dramatic as the 240 that I'm going to show you in a second, but still, it's not bad. These birds are flying wicked fast. You can see their wings are flapping quick. They're darting back and forth. So this is what actually would look like normal speed since these birds fly so fast. And now here, I'm going to roll in footage of the same birds, or I don't know, it might be their cousins flying in, at the 240 FPS in the VGA format. 240... That's pretty fast, 240 frames per second. And as you notice, the frame grab is a little smaller. It's a little 640 by 480. That's not bad, considering it's capturing at 240 frames per second. As I mentioned before, most pocket cameras and cameras that do 240 only capture it up to 480 by 240. This is doing it at 640 by 480, so it's pretty quick. I mean, pretty large, almost double. So that's impressive. And as you can see, there's no audio. You see the birds flying back and forth. You see the feathers. You can actually see them in mid-flight. You can see the flapping of the wings. I don't know how fast these birds flap, but they're these tiny birds, the finches, I think, or yellow finches, or whatever they're called. Pretty quick. It's pretty impressive, and I'm zoomed in nearly at the far end of the optical zoom on some of these, like 600 millimeter. And I think I'm at like f3.5 or something, just to give it a little more depth, but not so much that the background comes in all distracted, so I try to blur out the background. So there you have it, guys. Can't say enough good things about the Panasonic FZ200. I mean, sure, it's a camera over a year old, but it has a lot of nice features for the money and the size. You're getting a 24 to 600 millimeter f2.8 all the way through with a pretty nice lens for what it is. I mean, it's not going to be, it's not going to match the quality of a dedicated 200 millimeter f2.8, a 35 millimeter format for the DSLR, no way. But you know what? It's going to be a lot cheaper, and this camera will fit in your coat pocket, and I'll hopefully do more videos. All right, guys. See you later.